Just remind everybody to turn their mics.
Okay. Mic's on, everybody? 6:59 according to the computer. 7 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting, Committee of the Whole, together for Monday, February 23rd, 2015. Please note that Alderman Cummings is not in attendance, and we are pulling up Alderman Kilberg on the phone as we speak. So one moment while we...
Hi, Dean, we're here.
Can you hear us, Alderman Kilberg? Okay, thanks. Next item on the agenda. Oh, I am Mike Bruno. I'm along with Chuck Brown, Alderman of the First Ward. Second item is consider the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Simonian, second by Alderman Sino.
Alderman Marks.
Oh.
That was the joke, right?
All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Alderman Kilberg?
Gilbert, aye.
Okay, on to items of business. Item 4A, recommend draft resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with the University of Illinois, Illinois State Water Survey for long-term monitoring of deep bedrock aquifer located at 710 Dodson Street.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Flanagan.
Second.
Second by Alderman Brown. We have the Honorable Mr. Van Gescam for questions, or do you have a presentation?
No presentation, just questions.
Any questions of Mr. Van Gescam?
I do, if I may, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, can you turn your microphone on, please? Alderman Singer and then Alderman Brown.
Actually, Bob, this isn't related to you, it's just the, I don't know, the structure of the way this is done. Page 7, paragraph 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It mentions, whereas after removal of the well pump and motor booster by Geneva, comma, University desires, and then we go down to the very next paragraph on page 7 as well. I'm wondering if we shouldn't include that we should mention this as the University of Illinois, as much that is what we find here in on that page near the last paragraph. It mentions the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois, and there are a number of other mentions of just Illinois on page 8, paragraphs 3, 4, and 5. If we shouldn't mention the fact that it's the University of Illinois rather than just the University, I don't know. There's a question of semantics here.
If I might, most contracts will start out defining who they're talking about. For example, when they refer to university, they're referring to the University of Illinois.
Correct.
But throughout the document, they just refer to university. So you have to refer back to the very first paragraph usually.
Okay,
But that's standard
it is.
language,
Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right, fine. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Alderman Brown?
Is this an abandoned well or one we're about to abandon?
We're about to abandon. It was budgeted for this year, and when we went to, I'm part of the Northwest Planning, Water Planning Alliance, along with many other communities in this area, and when I was at a meeting, the Illinois State Water Survey approached me knowing that we were looking to abandon this deep well, and that's when they approached me for long-term monitoring. So we had it in our plans to abandon it. I don't know, I don't think I stated in here, but we're saving roughly about $40,000 by not having to fill it in and letting them monitor it.
I think I speak for the citizens of Geneva. Thank you.
Alderman Simonian?
Thank you, Chairman. Are there any downside risks here?
No.
Any liability?
All the liability, this is this intergovernmental agreement has gone back and forth between the city attorney and the University of Illinois, and for several months, and gone back and forth. So we feel comfortable that there's really no liability in our end that's not covered under this intergovernmental agreement.
All right, thanks, Bob. Thank you.
I have another question, Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Alderman Singer?
Thank you. In the executive summary, Bob, there's a mention here, the city will save on costs to fill and cap the well. Then they go on to tell us that the University of Illinois stated that they have a desire to monitor this well indefinitely. If the UISWS in the future would decide to no longer monitor the well, the city would then need to complete the piling and capping of the well.
Correct. So that means if they do desire at some point in time in the future, that we would have to go ahead and fill that well then.
Well, then how is the city saving costs?
Well, right now, we are saving, and according to what I have been told by the Illinois State Water Survey and the representatives from University of Illinois, they don't see any short-term number of years that they want to do this. They want to do this for as long as the city will allow them.
Okay. Well, thanks for the explanation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the dais? I've got a question here. So the well, this is not particular interest in this particular well in the city of Geneva. This is just part of their portfolio, part of their ongoing research for monitoring water generally. There's no...
Right. It's mainly for the deep bedrock aquifer that they want to study for long-term monitoring. So this is one of many that they're going to be looking at to monitor in the northern Illinois area.
Okay, thank you.
Behind the fire department.
Nothing else from the dais? From our huge audience?
It's not going to affect the water tower in any way, is it there?
No, it's
that's
just the well itself, the water
okay.
tower and the well house. The well house has our pumps in it that pump water from the Dotson Street water tower up to the Kirk Road tower,
Okay.
so everything else stays.
Nothing else from the dais? Seeing none, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Alderman Kilberg?
Kilberg, aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item 4B, recommend draft resolution awarding bid and contract to Water Well Solutions in an amount not to exceed $8,800 for well number 5 abandonment. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Marks.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Bruno.
I've noted I have one error in there. On the recommendation, it states that it's for $8,800. It should be $8,880, as stated just above that in the executive summary. I apologize.
Can we call that a motion to concur by the?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. yeah.
Concur.
Concur.
Okay, any questions of Mr. Van Gescam from the dais? Alderman Simonian.
Thank you, Chairman. Bob, just a curiosity question. The spread on these bids, I mean, is there,
Well, I
concern?
think we were contacted by Lane Christensen early on in this, and they had told us that they were not even going to bid it. It just wasn't of interest to them. So I think that this is a bid that just kind of reflects their
lack of interest?
in really
Okay.
doing this, and hoping that maybe nobody else would bid, I guess. So.
Thank you.
Come from Texas.
No other questions from the dais, from the audience?
Yeah.
Seeing none, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item of business 4C, recommend draft ordinance vacating a portion of the public street commonly known as North 2nd Street.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Alderman Brown, seconded by Alderman Marks. Just so everyone's clear in the viewing audience, this has to do with the recently approved project on the block bounded by North Second, First, Stevens, and North Street. If any of the, any discussion from the dais? Any questions of Mr. DeGroot, who's so handily made himself available? I've got one for you, Dave. So this will just, North Second Street here in its entirety then will just become a private street?
No, there's about a 10 to 13-foot portion along the east side of the street, on the east side of the existing sidewalk on North Second Street,
Okay,
that would be vacated and become part of the development.
okay.
Just for that one block.
Just for the length of that block.
Any other questions from the,
I just wanted to add for the council's information, the $42,000 that the city would be receiving on this will go into the capital equipment fund that we established a few years ago. So every little bit helps.
Yippee.
5 years ago, we didn't have an account, so.
no other questions from the dais? From the public? Seeing none, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And Alderman Kilberg? Okay, motion passes unanimously. That concludes our items of business. Item 5,
Alderman Bruno, I just have one quick question.
Sure.
If Mr. Van Gescam is still there. What's the intended use of the pump house then over off of the Dotson water tower?
one moment
Is
here.
there any plans for it?
One moment here. Can you hear this, Bob?
If he could repeat.
Could you state that again?
I just asked what are the intended uses of the pump house, the structure on Dotson then under the water tower, if we're going to be abandoning this well and everything pulled?
Sure, it is, the only thing that's going to be, I guess, removed is the well itself. The well house still contains the booster pumps that pump the water from the Dotson Street Tower over to the Kirk Road Tower. So that will remain.
Gotcha. Okay, it still has a functional purpose then?
Yes, it does.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Back to new business. Does anyone have any new business for us on this chilly evening?
I do, Mr. Chairman. Just a note, as a follow-up note to my email earlier as to why the flag is flying at half-staff for the young lady, Ms. Suker, who passed away. And of course, it should also be noted that our long-time and much valued employee, Ken Nelson, also passed away last week. I had the pleasure of visiting with Ken's son, Dan, and his daughter, Kathy, and their grandkids. And we want to extend to all of them our deepest sympathies, so thank you.
Thank you for that, Mayor. Anything else?
I just wanted to encourage council members to attend the legislative breakfast that Metro West is hosting tomorrow morning at Gaslight Manor. I believe 11 of our legislators will be there to talk to us about the upcoming proposed budget as well as some other unfunded mandates.
I will endeavor to be there, but that may not work out, unfortunately.
Get your breakfast.
Item number 6, upcoming meetings. Our next regularly scheduled committee of the whole meeting will be March 9th, 2015 at 7 p.m. I'm sorry, was Alderman Kilberg, were you saying something?
No.
Okay.
Nothing here.
With that, I would look for a motion to
So moved.
adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Simonian, seconded by Alderman Marks. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
Alderman Flanagan and